Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Are you ready for game day? I got my West Virginia apron on with my West Virginia shirt, so you guess who I'm rooting for? So it is always fun to have a crowd over and have snacks. So I want to show you about the salsa chickens. We're going to get started with that first thing, and of course, our feature of the day, the quick cooker. So this is where my quick cooker's new home is, right beside my coffee pot because I use it so much. So we're just going to, I like to turn it around when I get ready to use it because when the steam releases, I don't want it hitting my cabinets. I want it to go out here. So let's just get started immediately with this so it can start cooking. This is our pot in a pot. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. We have in here, it is a stainless steel pot, easy to take out and clean, dishwasher safe. So we're just going to put that in first. You have a little stand. I'll tell you more about that. So what we're going to do first is I already have my chicken breasts cut up. Actually, they're just halves because I like them a little bit thinner. And I'm just going to sprinkle this with some of our gluten-free Southwestern seasoning. So just sprinkling all over for those. Dumping those in the pan. More seasoning. And chef's tongs, these are the small ones. I think all we have are the large ones, but I like this size myself. We've already discontinued those. So, more seasoning. All we have left to do is we're going to add a cup of your favorite salsa. There's about a cup left in here, so I'm just going to go ahead, dump that on there. I'm going to add a cup of water because you want to have lots of liquid in here to come up to pressure to cook your food. And rather than waste half of my salsa, I'm just going to add some water from here. Swish that together. Waste not, want not. I am truly my mother's daughter. She wasted nothing. So, okay, into the trash. The lid goes on. Things you want to be sure of. You want to be sure your pot is in the pot. You want to make sure your gasket is in the lid. You do want to take your gasket out every time you wash the pot because odors can transfer. Just throw it in the dishwasher or soak it. You want to be sure that the steam valve that releases has a little steam icon. You want it down. You want to make sure this button is up and flush because when you push it, look here, pushes that up and down. So it's flush. And this little red button is the pressure, so you'll see it'll come up. So that's the main things about this. Gasket, pot, icon, flush, down. Now we're ready to turn this on. Oh, plug it in. That would help too. So I'm going to get this plugged in. And I don't know if you could hear that, a little beep. It's ready for me to set. And I'm going to verify because you get this wonderful cookbook that comes with it. And the Simply Salsa Chicken, I've used it so much it's falling apart already. It tells you to put it in the quick cooker, set it on chicken, poultry, and start. So I'm going to go through. There's sear, steam, slow cooker, proof, chicken, poultry, and start. How easy is that? Now it says 15 minutes, but it's going to take a few minutes for it to come up to pressure. So I'm going to show you a few other things that we're going to have today. And let me kind of scoot my camera around so you can see a little bit better. So you'll see this little thing's going around. That means it's coming up to pressure. When this little red button pops up, then it is under pressure. You cannot open it. You do not want to open it at that time. So as soon as the 15 minutes run out, then it will start counting up. It automatically switches to warmer mode. And so while it's in warming mode, it's not cooking anymore, but it's just keeping your food warm, and it starts counting up. So it'll go 15, 14, all that, and then it'll come back up, So if you walk away from it, that's the best thing about this. You can just walk away from it, put all your food in here, come back later, and you'll think, is it still cooking, or what did I do? And then you'll know if it's in warming and how long it's been there. This one we're going to do a manual release, and what that is when you want to get into it as soon as possible. So you hit this button, that steam is going to come out of here, and then we're going to get into our chicken. Sometimes you'll see it'll say natural release. Natural release is just letting it come down to pressure without hitting that button. A lot of recipes will do 10 minutes natural release and then manual release. So that still, and that makes it quicker too. You'll see. It's really easy to use. The absolute best thing about the quick cooker is you get a consultant with it. We don't actually come to your house, but we can if you want us to, and show you some tips. But there's a quick cooker community group on Facebook that you can join. The link will be posted here in a little bit. I'm going to post this recipe later as well. And how have you been enjoying all those other recipes? That risotto is amazing, I'm telling you. I can't remember what else I put in there. The chicken parmesan pasta. There's going to be one coming up with chicken teriyaki. We've just recently added a jambalaya and a chicken tortilla soup. I haven't tried those yet, so I'm anxious to. So what's going to happen is when that gets to pressure and then cooks for 15 minutes, we are going to quick release it by hitting the manual button, and then we're going to use our salad choppers to chop up all that chicken so it will fit perfectly into our tortillas. I love this size. These are little street tacos. I got the flour and I've got the corn tortillas because it's just perfect for little bites and stuff. So I've got my trays all set up for that. Let me see, I want to tell you about this pot. This is an accessory that you can get with your quick cooker or on the side. This is called, it's just a ceramic quick cooker pot. It is also known as the pot in a pot, because back to that little stand I showed you, this little stand, you would put your liquids down there. So a lot of times, like for that chicken and risotto, now that's all cooked together. But there's another recipe I've done where I put the salmon. Oh, you'll see that video later too. It is probably my favorite recipe out of this cookbook. You can also just Google pressure cooker recipes and adapt them to this. This has 16 different functions. I've made bread in this. I've made bread way too many times the first week I got it, but we ate it so fast it was so good. So you can proof your bread. White rice, brown rice, whole grains, beans without soaking, chili and stew, and desserts. What do you see what I'm going to show you here in a few minutes? But back to this. So the salmon, I sauteed my green beans and my shallots and my red peppers, and then I put them in this pot. And then I put some orange juice and thyme in the bottom of that, and the salmon. Set this on top of the salmon, this on top of this in there with this little silicone lid that comes with it, and then put it in this neat little carrier. All the other recipes that are not Pampered Chef recipes, everything I've seen says build a aluminum foil sling. No, just put it in here. Got little handles. There's your aluminum foil sling, thank you. And then that fits on top there. So today we are actually going to serve our salsa chicken in this. So that's going to be a serving bowl today. So we won't need all these other accessories. And speaking of accessories, let me get over here to show you what I made last night. And I didn't start this till 9 o'clock. I thought, oh, I wanted to do this recipe for tomorrow, but I wanted to let it chill. So let me grab my little releasing tool. And this is what I'm going to serve it in. In our cool and serve tray, I'm using the small one, so let me get this out of the freezer. I'm going to put it here, and then this will be to serve. And get a little closer to you. Okay, I got away. I couldn't see. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Robin. Good to see you all. Okay, so the small cool and serve tray. And this is the other accessory for the quick pot and quick cooker. Sorry. It is the springform pan. So it's a small 8-inch springform pan. I made a pumpkin cheesecake. So this is just 2 packages of cream cheese. I beat that good. Added some sugar, pumpkin pie spice, which I actually used my cinnamon plus that we used to carry. I still have a little bit more left. Actually, I used it all last night. And then pumpkin in this and eggs. And that's all that was in here. So Robin, you were asking about the cornstarch yesterday. This didn't have any kind of stabilizer and it's pretty stable. So I'm just going to run our little release tool around the edges. It called for a ginger snap crust, but I just used my graham crackers. And I'm just going around to release all this. And let's open that up. Pumpkin cheesecake and all that around there is for me. Let me wash my hands since I licked my fingers. Okay. Now, let's see. Did our timer start yet? Not yet. So I may have to slip away and then come back later after this cooks. So I won't keep you all too long. I am going to slide this off. Actually, for right now, I'm just going to put it in here. But I will slide it off that tray. But this will stay cold out of the refrigerator till all my company comes. And we'll be able to have pumpkin cheesecake. But wait, there's more. We are going to do some cinnamon whipped cream. I already have in my whipped cream maker. I already have some heavy whipping cream. I added some of our cinnamon. Still have some of that too. And powdered sugar. That's what we have in there. I could have added some pumpkin if I wanted to, but I didn't want to go too overboard with the pumpkin. So I'm just going to stir that up just to get all that blended. I hear this kind of, but it's actually pretty quiet. I hear it kind of bubbling in there, so it shouldn't be long. Oh, the little red button has popped up. It should be just a matter of minutes before the timer, because that button's up, so you don't want to touch it now. You want to let that continue to build that pressure. So let's make our whipped cream. Just put that lid on. Get our workout. This is my idea of working out. So we just pump it. 30, 40 seconds, something like that. And you feel it get thicker. You can actually make butter with this too. And there's all kinds. You can do chocolate whipped cream, mint whipped cream, plain whipped cream. But butter is a little bit different. You want to use the heavy whipping cream, but you want to let it at room temperature. And boy, that is just, I've never even heard it. But usually because I walk away, and that's why I don't pay attention to what it sounds like. So we're just still pumping. I better get an even workout. Switch hands. Okay, so we got our whipped cream. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator. Important thing when you're doing whipped cream, pull it all the way out. Don't undo it the other way, because then you get a mess. But then again, you get to lick all your fingers and everything. And we just kind of release it. It'll get thicker as I put it back in the refrigerator. So let me grab my tray. Ooh, look at all that. And then I've got this nice little handy lid that I'll just put on there. Refrigerate it until we're ready to have the pumpkin cheesecake. And let me get my hands washed again. Now, what are we going to have with our tacos? It is suggested to make these into lettuce wraps. I don't know about you, but I want the taco. And I usually like the corn tortillas. If I do the corn, I'll grill those first in our grill pan, either the regular grill pan or the double burner, the one that Meredith showed you yesterday. Wasn't that amazing? You could also mix up a pitcher of margaritas like she shared with you yesterday? Or how about the guacamole? That looks so good. So all of those, she did the fajitas. It really wasn't planned for us to do a Mexican theme this whole time, but because we each did our own little planning. But I'm going to have mine on tortillas, and I'll put more out as the company comes. But I'm going to go ahead and grate a little bit of cheese because I want to show you the coarse grater. You could go buy that pre-grated cheese. We all know that. Okay, the timer's going. We got 13 minutes. So we are just going to grate our own. I've just got a little piece of cheddar. It does come with a holder. I just forget about mine. I just use my fingers and try to be careful. It is so much quicker to grate. It actually is, believe it or not. It's quick to grate your own cheese. It's healthier because you get the cellulose. Look at the bag of grated cheese and look at the ingredients in that. Look at a block of cheese. The only thing that's in that is cheese. So if you grate your own, it's healthier. We all know it costs less. It tastes better. It just is so quick to do. So I'll just come home and grate a block of cheese, throw it in a baggie so I have grated cheese whenever I'm ready. Or sometimes I just get a chunk and grate it as I need it because it is so quick. I use this thing all the time. And then when you get to the bottom and you have that little tiny piece left, that means that's your bonus for grating your cheese. Okay, so we'll put the cheese. I'm going to add that to my 2-cup prep bowl. And I can put the lid on that until I'm ready for the tacos. I'm going to serve cheese and sour cream. And I think that's all I'm going to put on our tacos today. But I wish I had that guacamole that Meredith made yesterday. That would be so perfect. Or you could cut up some tomatoes. Already has salsa, so you don't have to add that. You could just add olives, onions, whatever you want to add. So we're going to come back. I think I've talked with you about everything I wanted to share. And I'm looking at my notes. I think I've covered it all. So let's talk about how you can get this quick cooker for free or for $96. That's 60% off. For free, you could try out the business. If you saw my video a little while ago, it talks about our special that we have this month only, so you only have a week left, and well, a little over a week left. And for $29, you get the paper starter kit, and just start selling. Start doing video or online virtual shows. It's that easy. And when you submit $12.50 in sales in your first 30 days, you get this free. That's a $240 product. And you would get a $275 paycheck. And you would get $100 in Pampered Chef dollars to spend on whatever products you want. So who couldn't do that? That's just amazing. And if that's not an option for you, I understand. It's not for everybody, but it is for everybody to try. However, you could also host a show. Just become a host, do a virtual party in September or October, and you actually have until November the 15th to submit those sales. And you can get this with a minimum of $200 in sales. Again, that's nothing. Anybody can do that. And you can get this for 60% off for only $96. So that's another option that you have. So I'm going to step away for about 10 minutes. I'll come back later and do another quick video showing you the chicken. We'll get it chopped up, and then we'll have a little taste test. Is your smell-o-vision on? If it's not yet, you'll want to turn it on before the next video. See you in a little bit.